Have you seen the new Running Man? All the videos for how to do it?
I saw Jeremy Lin doing it, but I'm not sure.
I've tried it and I fucking fell down. I don't know how to make the motion happen.
I don't get it. It's weird.
I don't get it.
Nope.
I can do like this, but I can't do the feet part. Like I got this down, but I can't do the feet part.
The look down, look up, and smile.
That's funny, but the feet, I just got it. Just
I don't
looks
quite.
Like I'm just picking up my heels.
Yes.
It's like trying to do the moonwalk when you don't know how to do the moonwalk.
Nope, you just walk forward.
Yeah, Neil Armstrong. You want to start this shit so we get this fucking over with?
Chill.
So they said, Julie said that Caleb's nickname for her is Juju, which is great.
Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Hello and welcome to the OC Men. This is the 11th episode of the podcast where every week my two friends and I watch an episode of the mid-2000s primetime teen dramedy The OC and discuss what we just watched. I'm JoJo.
I'm Ruru.
And I'm JJ.
And
we are
the OC Men.
Our goal for this podcast is to figure out just why I love this show so much and to see how two hot guys not so completely new to this series react to each episode in depth. Today's episode was The Secret from season 1, the Gay Buddy Garrity episode.
I don't get that.
What were the other ones? The My Big Fat Gay Dad wedding.
Don't call him fat.
My I can't remember the other one.
Don't tell your girlfriend secrets.
Oh, that's not good either.
The Veronica Mars episode.
That's what I was trying to think of.
The flossing is important episode.
Yes, it is.
Stay flossy.
Is flossing like an Urban Dictionary thing? Feels like it would be.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? If
I'm so flossy. What's the song? Not one that I just wrote.
Before we sploosh into
Floss
it,
of seagulls.
Before we sploosh into it, I just want to recap the story of the OC up to this point. Mm-hmm. Ryan has been living with the Cohen family all summer.
Choo choo.
And is dating local borderline personality disorder having Marissa now that she has broken up with Luke, who has been laying low since he backed that ass up in TJ and made Marissa almost kill herself.
Bye.
Seth is stuck between two girls that both like him, but are both angry at him for trying to be with both of them. There's both a lot there. All right. So let's get started, fellas.
Ooh, let's do it.
So Veronica Mars opening, right?
Yeah.
Did it weird you out for a second? Like,
Yep.
what the fuck am I doing?
I had to check to make sure I was playing the correct show. I was like, wait, a show from California with a long time ago we used to be friends. This gives me a certain...
Come on now, honey.
It doesn't feel like a song people listen to. It just feels like the Veronica Mars song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it felt weird that, and so was Seth dancing to that song at the opening? He's walking down the hallway dancing with his robe open. You know, whatever. You know, it's very cold in the OC. So you got to wear your flannel robe. Whatever.
Of course, it's Southern California.
Was he listening to that song, or was that? Because it seemed like he's dancing to something.
It felt like maybe maybe he was just playing it in his head as he was dancing down the hallway, rather than they had it on some.
When did Veronica Mars come out?
Veronica Mars came out in 2004.
Oh, interesting. That's cool that you knew off the top of your head.
Oh, yes. No, it goes into my database of internet movie knowledge.
Yeah. So he's dancing, and it's to show the contrast when he comes into the kitchen. He has to act sick because he doesn't want to go to school because he's a fucking child.
Yeah, if they hadn't showed him doing that, I would have never known he wasn't actually sick. I would have been like, oh, God, is Seth okay? Does he have AIDS?
Yeah.
Did Seth die?
Is Seth all right?
If he's got AIDS, does Captain Oates have AIDS now?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said AIDS, but...
No one cares about AIDS anymore. It's not offensive anymore.
And then I thought maybe the "We Used to Be Friends" chorus was going to have some sort of foreshadowing, but no one really. If anything, more friendships are forged through this episode. So that's not really foreshadowing.
Exciting times in this episode, fellas.
Yeah,
I like the jokes thrown back and forth. Maybe you have the summer. By the way, Ryan, hilarious at the opening of this episode,
dude.
Mr.
Kills
Pun.
it.
It's quick puns. Yeah, it sounds like you got the summer flu. Do you need some antibiotics?
God, man. Well, I mean, let's not jump too far. But when he says Yogalates,
Yogalates. Fun to do, fun to say. Yeah. Sandy's just the Yogalates, but Ryan does the Yogalates.
He yodels
what are you
it.
doing? It's great. I wonder how much of that is Ben McKenzie being kind of an interesting guy and throwing some stuff in, or if they're just like, no, we should change the way we're writing him and make him more funny. I don't know.
It's like he doesn't get much of a chance to not be deadpan, so he takes every opportunity he can.
He definitely is the straight man, right? But I feel like straight man gets some jokes sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Seth is trying to pretend to be sick because he's childish. He wants to avoid the mean girls. They're all around the breakfast table trying to. Well, by all I mean Sandy and Ryan are trying to convince Seth,
the three OC men,
to be a man, essentially, to just face them, talk to them, realize you did something shitty, and get over it. Yeah, which is where Kirsten comes in, Yogalates. And so she has a drinking problem at this point, right? There's no way they're spending this much time on this without showing that's a problem at this point.
I mean, I guess it's supposed to. It sets up the motion of
it could be just doing
first of just she's embarrassed and that she did something dumb and kind of screwed up. I don't know if that's making such of an issue that it's a drinking problem. She got drunk and passed out, and now all of the noopsies know about it.
Yeah, so I guess that's kind of what I was trying to ask in a weird way. Is it actually a problem, or is it a problem because she knows how Julie will interpret it?
Right. I think the way I would look at viewing this for the first time, not knowing one way or the other, I think I've gotten hints that that's going to be a storyline down the road.
Yogalates.
At this point, I just kind of feel like it's just to get her and Julie's storyline going.
Is Yogalates a thing, or did they make this up for the show?
The amount that they said it makes me feel like it was something that what were the two writers? It was Heinberg and Schwartz.
Yeah, the big ones.
One of them heard someone say it.
I think the writers completely made up Yogalates.
Okay.
I don't think.
Is it reference? Is there some sort of like a workout thing that did portmanteau like two words together? Is that like a thing that's been done? It's like I'm trying to think like jazzercise. Yeah, it's like a modern jazzercise, right? I think that's what they're trying to.
It feels like like every year there's some new fad thing that's taking
Taibo,
right?
CrossFit.
Yep.
Zumba.
That just sounds stupid. It's just dancing, right? Zumba's just dancing.
Do you call this just dancing?
Whoa! Slow down there.
Oh my God, he's on fire!
Put me out! Put me out!
I say, I'm putting you out.
So before it goes to credits, they do the whole Ryan and Sandy are all smug, and she said, "You guys are just smug because you didn't do anything wrong. That's not going to last very long." And then it goes into credits. Once again, thinking this episode was going to involve both of them screwing up. And I don't think either of them end up... Ryan gets a little angry.
Ryan probably shouldn't have... Ryan probably screwed up by assuming Marissa told.
Right, I guess.
But okay.
And Sandy screwed up by hanging out with Jimmy and learning about the truth.
We're going to get to that, but it's a logical progression. I think that Marissa told in that situation, in my opinion. That's some bullshit. But okay, I want to move to the history.
But
damn it.
They don't really screw up too often. Ryan stole a car the other episode, but no one knows about that. They're not like fucking up on their egg. I guess Ryan did break Luke's leg. So maybe Ryan does screw up, but Sandy doesn't screw up.
Nah, man, that dude's a rock.
Well, I guess, Sandy doesn't screw up. Why? I kind of get with Ryan. I get what you're saying.
What mistakes has Sandy made?
It feels like Seth is always making mistakes, and also Kiki's always getting in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. So usually what they do is set up the episode with sort of like the thesis statement right before the credits break. So I was like, ooh, this episode's going to be all about Sandy and Ryan screwing up, being in the doghouse by the end, and they could be like, yes. More, they were kind of in the cat house, really.
I could see Snoopy Ryan being in the doghouse.
Oh, I get that.
That's a joke.
That is humor. What did you think of the no frame for this episode? There's no big party at the end they're working towards. It's like the first one, right?
Oh, shit, there is no party. I didn't even miss it. I guess, there was a party at the Crab Shack, but no real defined party.
But it also wasn't set up as like, this is the big party we have to be anxious for by the end.
Right.
I tend to like the episodes that divert a little bit just because it's fun to see a subversion, I suppose.
Yeah, nah.
What was the climax? They partied at the baseball diamond after dark.
Shit.
But yeah, no, I liked that it was a bit of a break. So we get to history class, huh? I
want to talk about history class because I'm excited that we're seeing Luke again. That's why I'm excited for history class, and it's a good look Luke today.
And at first, so it opens with it looks like just Luke is just staring at Ryan across the. I think he's probably looking at Marissa, but the way the shot was just made it look like the whole time during class he's just watching Ryan, and I'm like, oh, he's scowling. It's going to be a Duke episode. But
I didn't read that, maybe because I know more about the show, but I didn't read it as a scowl or angry Luke, like scowling. I read it as like Luke is so fucking sad, just sitting in class, sad and alone.
Oh, so it was a sad scowl.
I just got this isolated, alone. I mean, who's talking with Luke now? I mean, I imagine he distance himself from Holly, and then his best friends of Marissa and Summer and stuff. I don't know, I feel like Luke is sad and alone right now. That was what I was getting from his face.
I get that more now having watched the episode. There were,
Sure.
I think, 3 different times in my notes I marked that he was acting adorable, and it was. I'm so excited to talk about all of them.
Yeah, so they're picking up team. They got like I don't know, like history project teams, and of course Luke and
Jim
Ryan.
Rash is putting the students in.
Right? Look just like him.
Even though fucking
projects.
Stephanie's not listening. Do you remember that as the scene kind of fades out? He's just like, "Listen up, Stephanie." Something like that. Yeah, fuck you, Stephanie.
Can't wait to see her. Can't wait to see her and Marcy.
What's
What's her
Stephanie up to?
story?
Yeah, so Luke and Ryan get paired up. Other people get paired up, but it doesn't matter. Luke and Ryan get paired up, and they're gonna have to work together. Even though it looks like Luke might be still pissed at Ryan.
How does this teacher not know that he shouldn't put these 2 people together? Is it not news?
Well, it's
that,
been
like,
all over the summer, right? So maybe it hasn't been.
Well, he tried to break his leg in
That's true.
soccer.
That's true. I think you might have heard about that at class,
Right?
or in between classes.
Or maybe he knows and he's like, this is how I get these 2 kids.
One of them will die.
One of them, and they got to they have to do a project on the Spanish Inquisition. Now, my question here is: they picked that for a reason. Is there any type of thing we can take from the Spanish Inquisition, like
It's a joking sounding, like everyone knows the don't expect the Spanish Inquisition. So it's like it's a phrase that people recognize.
I mean, one could look at it as a way of weeding out sin, and so through that they find that
That's what I was asking. Is like I don't know enough about history in Spanish Inquisition to see if it, if there's some sort of like the shunning or the outsider status of gay community, especially in 2003.
Oh shit!
And like that, if there was some connection to that with the but I don't know enough about Spanish Inquisition.
Gotcha.
No one expected his dad to be.
So the OC community are the Spanish Inquisition, and Luke's
maybe.
dad is the outsider.
Well, I think maybe the people that work for them are the Spanish Inquisition.
Oh, how is this not the Spanish Inquisition episode? Let's go back.
I think they would have expected if we called it.
Yeah, they would have expected that. We've already given Stephanie a curt fuck you. I'll cross it off the list.
We're all saying it. Yeah, I did like Marissa, my ex-boyfriend hanging with my boyfriend. What will they talk about?
And then she got super like, oh no, what if they talk about me? That's her fucking wet dream that they just sit there and talk about her.
Yep.
Because
it
fucking
she
is.
pouts later. No, what did he say about me? Nothing. Oh, okay. Like she doesn't.
I'm not important enough to talk about. You don't care enough of me. You don't care enough of me.
And Marissa all over the place this episode. I have a note written down here that Marissa's got Summer's back about Cohen. At some point,
barely, but
she gives Cohen a little bit of shit, like go and fucking talk to Marissa about it. But I feel like she should have been giving her more. Like if my boy was being two-timed by some hoe, I'd be like, listen up, hoe. My boy is a good boy. No, I don't know where that was going. But like in theory, she should maybe be a little bit more affronted on Summer's behalf, maybe I guess, or maybe she's more adult than I am. She's like, I don't fucking stay out of it. They're both fucking crazy.
When she's in the bathroom and she and Summer are in the bathroom together, and Marissa just leaves, sees Anna comes in and doesn't say anything, so it doesn't really seem as if she's friends with Summer.
It's not about her, remember.
I feel like I almost got, maybe I was reading way too much, that like there was a smile on Marissa as if she's just like, having there. I know Summer doesn't realize that Anna's going in there. That feels like you could have had your friends back and been like, whoop, get out of here, Summer.
It's to get her back for dropping her in the driveway passed out.
Yeah.
Does she know that Summer did that? I mean, she wouldn't remember that. She was passed out.
Marissa fucking knows. This is some Kaiser Sose shit.
Marissa knows all. Yeah, so they're basically talking about this Luke Ryan unholy union, which I would say is a very nice filled holy union.
The holiest of unions.
The holiest of all the holies.
How many holes?
And Seth's contribution will be that they're just going to talk about Marissa, and that bothers Marissa, and Seth seems to want to make, as usual, Seth wants to make Ryan scared, it seems like. Like when he first came to Harbor, he's like, it's going to be Harbor school. He says it's going to be horrible. You're going to get bullied like I have been. Like he never wants to like have Ryan look forward to something. Be like, no, it's going to be fine.
Better make sure this date is perfect. Otherwise, this relationship is over.
Constantly Seth not helping the situation.
Yeah.
Wants to make everyone as miserable as he.
My mom is going to ruin this Thanksgiving dinner. You better start helping cook. Put some yams.
Put some yams.
Putting some yams. Putting some yams.
Then so I guess we get, I mean, a boring scene happens between Sandy and Jimmy.
Basically, Sandy's convincing Jimmy to sell his house.
Yep.
And Jimmy's like, no, the holidays are coming. I want to sell my house.
Yep.
And that's how Jimmy's going to stay out of prison.
He's like, or you're going to go to jail, sell your shit, or go to hell.
Which is a fair enough deal. Hey, you're good to go after all that?
Like,
Great.
there's a scene later where Julie throws it in his face, like, maybe you should go to jail. And I'm like,
well, kind of. I mean,
yeah, like,
break the law.
He stole a lot of people's money.
If you were a poor, less affluent, like a regular guy in some regular neighborhood, would you go to jail for stealing this much amount of TVs out of a fucking shop?
Right.
Yeah. If you're like a Ryan, if you're from
Donnie
Chino, Jimmy, and you stole the same
Dre.
amount you stole from your clients worth of, just appliances, you would be going to jail. So why do you get off just because yeah.
But it's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
So let's skip ahead to the more fun part. Anna and Summer. It's real tense.
Yeah.
But then we get Anna starts the floss.
So what's the floss move there? Is that just like my nonchalant, like I brush you off, you don't even rate to me, so I'll just sit here and floss like you're not here? Is that the move? Like what's the confident flossing?
That's what she was going in the bathroom to do. I think she just regularly cleans her teeth after she eats. This is post-lunch, as we just saw in the scene before, and she's just cleaning her teeth. Just happened to choose the same bathroom.
I thought it was like Apocalypse Now, Marlon Brando eating the orange, being like intimidating through his nonchalant, some like psychological move, but that's probably coming into the floss. Also, floss. Did you guys big flossers? You floss in public? You floss in a public bathroom? Like what is that a thing people do?
I floss at night, but I don't take it with me. I also don't take a toothbrush. I always feel like I should carry that with me to do after lunch at work, but I don't.
Get a better breath anyway.
I've worked with people who do that, who floss after lunch and who brush and floss every time, but I can't do it. I can't care. So I guess it's right before where she kind of confronts. It said, hold on, I only got the second half where she says, I wouldn't be involved with someone who treats women that way.
Yeah, Summer was like, you can have him if you want. I don't even want him anymore. So if you want him, he's yours.
And then she says, I don't want to be with him. And she says, I'm like, you don't want to be with someone who would kiss
wants to be with me? Because she's super self-effacing and thinks Anna hates her because Anna's constantly made fun of her. So,
right?
Yeah, it makes me feel for Summer there. Like, is there some fragility we don't see a lot from her that's self-doubt about her intelligence, about if she can? I mean, she's intimidated by Anna because she's smart like Cohen from at least her perspective. I think that was an interesting scene for Summer. It makes me want more on Team Summer now than I was even before.
But I thought that line from Anna of that it's not going to turn into this competition between the two of them of, oh, now we're both fighting over him. But no, if someone's going to treat women that way, fuck him.
Yeah, there definitely will not be a competition between the two of them.
Of course not. No, well, it sucks because this whole episode, I loved their interactions. I loved all their talks together. And the fact that that's all entirely derailed by him just doing a 4-sentence apology really bummed me out.
I mean, it was a very heartfelt apology. I feel like it was one of the few times we have seen him sincere. And I think it was surprising to him and I think poignant that it actually worked because he was just being honest.
Sure.
And he was actually showing that he was, reticent about the whole situation. They shouldn't have done this, that, I've learned from this. I think there's some positive in that actually works because sincerity and actually, feeling contrite for a situation. I get that. But at the same time, that's all you fucking got to do, and then they're just right back to be competing women over the man. It's just,
I guess I agree that I liked the apology. The fact that resulted with both of them then getting rid of the friendship they had just built, just because they're like, now we both like it.
They never really had the friendship, though, right?
It was like,
or were you getting the feeling they were becoming friends?
It felt like they were enjoying each other's company. That Anna kind of liked hanging out, or I'm sorry, Summer liked kind of hanging out with Anna for being sort of smart and being nice to her and making jokes, and I enjoyed their scenes together. I wanted them to still be friends. Hell, let's have them date.
Yeah. She was treating Summer the same way she treated Seth, just like a little project in order to help better.
Which maybe Anna needs to look to that in herself. Why she want to keep improving people in her image and shit like that. It's a little pathological. I feel like a lot of Sandy Cohen has that a little bit. I feel like Ryan has a little bit of that. Marissa has a little bit of that. They just want to find people that need help and nurture them and help them. Maybe that's just a good quality in humans.
When they see other people, they want to help them.
I don't fucking get it. There's something behind that. Nope. So they leave the bathroom together and both run into Seth, right? Just outside of the bathroom.
Yeah, Seth's right outside the bathroom. He is not into seeing them getting along at all.
And Anna says that she's going to the library, and Anna says the library for books. Summer rather says that. And then Summer contributes that they're going to go shopping as well. But yep, so it starts a beautiful friendship that is only going to last for the next 30 minutes.
And we get the second playing of the Veronica Mars theme song, which cracked me up. I wasn't expecting to hear it again, and like I didn't think about the lyrics the first time I heard it. I was just like, oh, cool, Veronica Mars song, nice. And then I'm like, oh shit, they used to be friends, but now they hate Seth. So
come on now, sugar.
Like they haven't ever repeated a song in the same episode, so it was bizarre to me that they were using it, but it made me laugh.
It was cool.
We got the Yogalates. Is it the aftermath or right before they go into Yogalates?
Right before they go in.
And
which is weird because it's after lunch at high school, but they're just now going to Yogalates.
Oh yeah, I guess why aren't they going early in the morning?
Right.
I guess Kirsten had to work.
That's right. She had to go to the office first.
Well, it seems like the Noopsies were hanging out because at one point Julie's like, "Well, everyone was wondering where you were." She's like, "I was at work, Julie, working." So like, yeah, she got up and went to work and then met the Noopsies. They've probably been hanging out all morning, having brunch and shit.
But everything they showed in the morning made it seem like it was an early morning Yogalates.
Yes,
as
one does.
Like you better hurry up and get to your logo.
You only have 6 hours until Yogalates. Hurry up.
So essentially, at this Yogalates thing, Kirsten's shamed by the Noopsies for getting so
getting drunk.
Yeah, it seems like they're. We've been over this, right?
Yes.
It seems like this type of place, these people without jobs and they got a lot of money, they're probably, day drinking or at least just drinking at parties.
She couldn't
all the time.
handle it. If she could have handled it, if she hadn't passed out at her house, then they wouldn't care. But because that happened, it's a scandal. Because the turkey caught on fire and smoke filled the room. And are they also talking about Seth and his issues, or do you think they don't talk about Seth? Because I feel like that
way more scandalous, right? Like we heard your son had 2 ladies banging 2 chicks on Thanksgiving, but
no wishbone.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, but like super bad look for Julie. I mean, I thought Julie, she looked fine physically. I mean, she's fine. But like the bad luck just telling on one of your, first of all, she seems to be a close friend of yours, just telling on her to your other friends. What does that gain you? It just seems like childish as an adult move because no one else saw her like that but Julie. So it's not like she was shamed in front of everybody. It was just Julie. So if she didn't say anything, it just seemed like that's a childish fucking move.
They both want it. Well, Julie wants to be Kiki, who is the most popular person in the OC. She is Queen OC.
So she's going to knock her off her throne.
In order to do that, she's got to little finger her way into it.
Ew. Mean Girls before Mean Girls, I guess. Julie's the original Mean Girl.
If we're all friends, start acting like one. That seemed to really get to Julie.
That's true. She does seem to be impacted by things that people that she respects say. Like that seemed to change her for the better for the later episode. When the same similar situation comes up, she has changed the way she'll act about it.
Which
she gives a reason for.
The Noopsies, we've been introduced to them before, but I feel like this is definitely the most negative portrayal. When there's all these parts where like 3 of them will all be looking at the same time when they think they're sensing gossip is happening. Like there's like weird like vultures getting ready to pounce, which is what vultures do.
Like before this episode, it didn't really make sense why Sandy had issues with them, but then after this, it's like, oh, he constantly has to deal with them and their shit.
They kind of parallel the way they talk to the way like the dumb male students talk at the school about Luke's dad's issue. Whatever. Dad's identity.
His situation.
His affairs.
Yes. That's more of the issue. So
it's cool that that's what they made it mostly about. I thought that was neat.
They did and they didn't, I'd say.
Well, no one was actively saying, oh, well, no, that one Nipsey did. Never mind.
Yeah, I feel like the good guys didn't have an issue with that. Though I'd say Luke was I have a question about that with Luke, but I feel like Luke's in conflict with it in some ways. But
because he has the same feelings for Ryan.
Yes. Let's go to Luke's house then, since we're talking about this. Luke's.
I'm so excited. Every new scene in this about Luke and his family and his life, I was so excited.
They built the lore, and I loved it. It's like 2 brothers. Oh, what are their names? Eric? Oh, Brian?
Brad. Eric and Brad, and the little bastards fighting over an alligator, I guess. I don't know. They're just wrestling on the
symbolizes
steps.
What? No, so Ryan comes to Luke's house to work on this history project about the Spanish Inquisition, and he's got 2 rambunctious little brothers fighting over an alligator,
and a mom who doesn't really know how to handle the alpha males.
Yeah, you got your mom, you got your
manly dad.
The manly dad. That's it seems like he knows a little something about history. Like seems like. Definitely the dad you want, right?
He seemed like the perfect dad. Everything seemed great about him. He also looked like Ed Helms, which weirded me out.
See, to me, he looked like John Ritter. Like he looked like Three's Company John Ritter, which is interesting, the implication. But I just had this Ritter I don't know. He just looked like maybe later on when he got caught and like some of the faces he made look like Ritter to me.
OC's Company.
Okay.
OC's Company.
Yeah, so the family's kind of presented this all-American family, which I think is the point, right? They're showing you that this because nothing really changes. I mean, obviously he's Luke's dad's cheating on his mother, we learn later. But they still are the all-American family. He's a good businessman dad. He provides for his family. He's good with his kids. He's all these types of things.
Super fucking humble. He was like, I just own some dealerships and stuff. And his wife talks him up, being like, no, it's 3 dealerships and all these cars. And
So, yeah, you can be the all-American family, and there could also be some I guess, somewhat interesting to talk about maybe in 2003, something more original. Yeah, you can be this all-American family, but there's also this difference to them that people don't talk about. It doesn't exclude those two things aren't mutually exclusive.
When they go into Luke's room and Luke... Oh, what'd you say?
I just thought it was surprising. I liked that Luke didn't like them bragging about his dad's. I thought that was interesting because you think Luke would be like, yeah, we got all these fucking like car shops, but no, he's like, yeah, don't stop bragging, Mom. Like he seemed a little bit humble, a humbler Luke than we might see in the first episode.
I think I was anticipating more of like a house full of alpha males, of like a dad who's super competitive and putting you like,
he's like a likable,
right?
You know.
Like you're like, oh, that's why, he was so competitive, why he was so like kind of bullyish. But no, we didn't really get much of that. Cool.
Well,
dad.
I think maybe that would have made sense. But I think if you're the reveal that you have about his dad, I think you also don't want to like. You don't get too many homosexual characters on television, especially positive at that point in time. Maybe I mean, it's 2003, so it's getting we're starting to see that it's more prevalent now. But maybe you didn't want to have like this bullying, negative guy, and then also try to attach that to some. I mean, you're already making one statement about like the American family and just how people react to secrets. Then you also want to put like this stigma of like, oh, and the one gay character happens to be a bully that's super mean to his family. So it'd be just you have to watch, especially when there's. It's the only one of the few amounts of representation on television. You have to watch, what you do with those characters.
What if the secret wasn't only that he was gay, but that like he like beat up his kids super bad and like beat up his wife and like.
That's what they. Gay people are so violent, and that's the message of the episode.
Yeah, North Carolina agrees.
Yes. Well, and I think that seems to be an easy trope of the super conservative, religious, abusive alpha dad who's so like focused on being straight that they turn out to be gay, and that feels like less of an uplifting thing to be like.
Basically, yeah.
It's a yes, your gay dad. It feels like a way of just cutting down that side of politics. Being, I bet you're gay, and it doesn't really seem to serve to push any sort of message. So they go into Luke's room.
Yes, where Luke is super excited about the project.
He's confident. Cool. He's prepared.
Best part, how excited he was about like, we could do this, and we use this thing at my dad's office, and then
super surprised, super likable, right?
That was adorable. Note number one.
And how he was like scared that Ryan might judge him for it as well, like a little bit Seth moment, which I feel like there's constantly these moments of with Summer as a candy striper with Madame Bovary, and then she wants to like hide that she actually has some literary interests. We've got Luke here. He's excited for the project. He's done the legwork to start out with. We can pull some stuff off the web. And then after he sees Ryan's face, like, or whatever, we don't have to. So it feels like the OC is pushing this need for people to hide that they're interested in academics or that they're interested in. I think that's interesting. They keep showing that.
Yeah. I thought that was awesome, and I like that Ryan was super on board, like didn't make him feel dumb for it, and was like, no, that's an awesome idea. Let's be best friends again. Because
I really wanted Ryan not to make him feel bad at them. Like,
yes.
No, be nice to Luke.
Yeah.
Help him out. And in fact, you did a little bit too many like facial expressions at him. Just been like, yeah, cool, man, let's do it. I feel like why are you that shocked? I mean, he's the all-American. He's the all OC guy, right? So he's probably not also a dumbass that the teachers don't like and gets held back. Probably, right? Like in theory, he's also competent,
hard worker.
So is Luke lonely? That's my reason.
Yes,
so Luke is fucking lonely.
He hung out with his girlfriend all the time, and now he's not allowed to see her per her dad's orders.
He's throwing himself into this project. He's super. He really wants Ryan just to come over and like help him. Like he's super lonely. That's what I'm getting.
It's weird that they didn't get any snacks. No one brought him snacks. I feel like that's a trope that it usually happens when people are working on a project in a TV show. That they get brought some snacks.
Terrible mom. That's why her marriage is terrible.
It would have been great if it was just a bunch of ding dongs.
Yeah, the dad came in with like cocktail wieners.
I mean, from the cheese sticks.
Cheese sticks and ding dong. No, he wasn't making a gay joke.
But also like little gummy peonies.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much more do you want Luke and Ryan's relationship to go well in this episode compared to like the romantic relationships?
Oh man, I was reminded. It was the model home where Luke picks up. Ryan's going to leave, and Luke picks him up, and they team up very briefly, and ever since then, I'm just like, I want them to be best friends.
So invested in them, this going well.
Yep.
Way more than I care if Seth ends up with Ryan.
Yep.
With Anna or Summer.
Like, I mean, so many points of this episode when they're in the baseball field and they look at each other and then both punch at the same time.
It's a good moment.
God damn it. This episode was awesome.
Yeah, and Marissa's basically furniture in this episode for the most part.
Secret telling furniture. Just kidding, she didn't.
Are you sure? How do you know?
Well, that's
How
true.
else would everyone have known if Marissa didn't say?
Right?
Well, the noopsies saw, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was...
But as far as Ryan knows, that it's perfectly logical to jump to that conclusion.
Based on Luke's reaction.
So let's go to the part of the episode.
Let's go to the episode. All right, scene opens with Veronica Mars theme song.
Let's just try this over again.
a long time
Let's go to the big part of the episode, which is Luke's dealership. We've got
So they set up Luke's dad to be so nice, and I was
he seemed very tender.
I was bracing for a reveal of him just to be an asshole on some level of
Okay,
like.
what was your expectation? Because you knew they were going to see something.
Yes.
Because Ryan always sees stuff he's not supposed to see.
I thought they were going to get caught for stealing the car. I thought Luke was going to take the car, and then
'cause he's downward
Ryan was
spiral.
going to get caught
Oh, damn,
with the
okay.
stolen car and have to go to jail. That's where I thought it was. Wasn't even thinking about
See,
Luke's dad.
yeah, I thought either having an affair or doing some sort of dealing, like that he's been stealing or dealing with some kind of stealing money, something to take him down a peg. When
He's doing some.
well, and that's when he walked in with his business partner. I'm like, oh, they're going to overhear some like shady business dealings. And then when it turns out that he was gay for Gus, that was the most exciting. I was like, this episode just got so much
And by
more
the way,
amazing.
there's different ways you can play the Gus scene.
Uh-huh.
You could have him, one or the other, bent over a table and they're railing. You could have
Go on, but slower.
Overhear a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was interesting, and I like the choice to have it. Like those two were in love, right?
Right.
Like, that is a Tinder. They're interlacing their fingers. It's like a passionate kiss.
That's not just a grinder hookup. That's the people who've.
I thought that was a great way to do it because you could make that seedy and make it more negative, and that you might have done that in 1994 or something.
Mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? But in this, and I think the way they treated it was good. Which, I mean, this type of episode, I still think maybe there's some tone deaf moments that maybe in 2016 we might do differently. I'm not exactly sure what they'd be, but I think for 2003 dealing with this subject, it did a lot of things right.
Yeah, absolutely.
They could easily go wrong and have the writer not know what they're writing about, not know what they're talking about.
Luke trying to like subtly scurry away, and then he trips and sets off all of the car alarms.
That was pretty interesting.
He was so surprised he turned into Seth from the that one
They
diner.
couldn't have gone any bigger with that. I wish he had like tripped like one of those like you're our 1 millionth customer, like they had one of those primed, it's just balloons and confetti.
Those wacky wavable arms guys come up.
50 of
Wacky
them.
wailing arm inflatable tube band. Wacky waving arm inflatable tube band. I just want to say it.
I like
that I can say
I was
it.
hoping for a third time, but
Also,
WWIT.
I was
comedic
super.
twos.
While I do now, I'm shipping Gus and Luke's dad. I was pissed at them for messing up their bromance in the Mustang. They listened to some tunes.
Is the Mustang a real cool car?
skis.
I don't know anything about cars.
I don't think
Jamie
so,
doesn't
personally,
know,
but-
I think.
You either are a Ford person and Mustangs are so awesome, or you're not a Ford person. You're like, those are like mom cars. You know.
Cool.
But they are nicer cars than a Cavalier.
I would say
Fuck LeBron James.
I would say they're a little bit. They're not cheap to me. They're a little cheap for an OC spoiled kid
Right.
to be like this fucking Mustang. But
Yes.
I guess it was like a special type of Mustang. It was
it was orange.
like a Roush or something.
Also could very well have been. That's right when the car industry was getting bailed out. It could have just been a direct product placement. As
I
well.
think it definitely was one of those because they talked about the engine and what made it good.
Get in, Ryan. Get in the car.
Enjoy its gas mileage.
But yeah, so I was a little bit pissed at Gus for breaking that up. And the other thing, so while I did say it was the tone I liked a little bit better for it was an affair, but it was a love affair, right? It wasn't like this seedy thing,
Right.
And it shouldn't be. But at the same time, what's going like? Is that they walk in, stand face to face in his place of business, and they touch hands, and they tenderly. It seemed like a little bit of a strange. Like they hadn't seen each other for months or something. It felt like a weird. Was that a date, or is they just meet there and they fuck there? What's the situation? Is that their fuck palace or what's going on there?
That felt like the end of a night out. They probably went.
End of a night out.
Probably had a nice dinner. Maybe went dancing.
Oh yeah, the dad was leaving. He was out the door right when they started working the project.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They had a lovely evening together. They were.
So like why'd they go back to the dealership? That's where like they park their cars because they can't park at the houses.
Well, they definitely talked when Luke was saying, all of those nights that he had to work late. So that could have just been maybe that's the place. And if they're business partners, then that probably means they're both expected to be down at the dealership. So they can.
Oh, they're down low at the dealership.
They can get down at the delership.
I thought the MSRP are dropping fast. I thought it was interesting that Luke is like, this is my dad's business partner. It's like, let's get a little exposition. not like, that's my dad's friend. Say, this is my dad's. It's
completely clueless about their actual relationship.
Yeah.
Just like, that's just his partner. They do deals together. They
do a great deal together.
They're always taking.
I think the main thing we got at the end of that scene as well was Luke's very vicious, kind of like, don't fucking tell anybody what you saw thing as he runs away, which sets up the conflict for later. Because I hope that Ryan does not break their confidence. Because why would you? Why would Ryan? That would be a shit move. Let me shame your dad. What would that help? I realize that Ryan, when it does get out, Ryan kind of blames Marissa. You're the only other person that knew, and Luke blames Ryan. Why would you tell somebody? And I get that because logically, who else would? In theory, we're the only ones that know. But at the same time, from their point of view, you got to look at like, well, why would they what would they stand to gain? I guess that's why we see the Noopsies gossiping. That it's for its own gain just because they're fucking bored. Right? The Noopsies are bored. Julie talks about as well, once she's fallen down on hard times herself, the entertainment's kind of gone.
Hard times, daddy.
Yeah, the entertainment aspect's gone. This kind of like the voyeurism is watching the Kardashians. It's watching, Celebrity Fit Club.
I guess Luke still doesn't entirely trust him, so he's a little guarded, thinking that like
Ryan's never stolen anything from him before, betrayed his trust.
Of course, or just randomly attacked him on a field, or punched him in Mexico. No big deal.
Why is Ryan always ganging up on Luke? Why is he bullying him so?
Oh no!
But then we go to commercial, and then we come back. It's Marissa showing up to pick up Ryan and Seth to take them to school.
She's grilling Ryan about his study date.
What'd you guys talk about?
What did he say about me?
Me.
How was your date? How was you guys studying? How can this be about me?
Mm-hmm. And that was that was Summer's reaction in the bathroom too. Like, oh, Seth was there. What did you say about me? Why is there obsession about themselves? I say,
what would Alison Bechtel say about all this? Yeah, like they have to talk about Seth or Ryan at all points. So I guess Marissa trying to make herself, and I don't know. It's this whole thing. Why can't we see more Marissa and Summer just being friends? I feel like we're told they're best friends a lot, but we don't see it too much.
Yeah, particularly
every now and then
them.
Summer will have her back or vice versa, but you don't see Marissa and Summer actually being friends.
I've seen more scenes of Anna and Summer having chemistry at this point than I have Marissa and Summer.
Well, Marissa one time asked what type of tanning stuff to use, and Summer told her, so they must be friends, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think Marissa kills chemistry with anyone she's on screen with, kind of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now that is a fair statement to make. I'll back it up.
Beep.
Beep. So Ryan tells Marissa.
So
the
Ryan
secret.
immediately betrays Luke's trust to tell Marissa, and she
Does
can't
it
just
betray the trust, or is it the intimacy of the relationship? I feel like that at some point, if you're in a relationship with someone, you got to talk to them.
I think if you told Luke, I mean, maybe it's because I've never really been in love or had like a serious relationship in my life, and now that I look back on it, but like I feel like I would definitely have not told some of my exes if that situation. They said not to fucking tell them. You don't tell them, right?
Well,
maybe if you've been married for 40 years, but if you've been dating for like 4 months or less, where they've been dating a month. I don't know I don't know if you told someone you're not going to tell, you don't fucking tell.
I think specifically,
I tell you guys
if you're like if you believe in keeping Luke's trust and you realize that he's mortified by this, he doesn't want anyone to know. Probably first and foremost, he would not want his ex-girlfriend to find out.
Right,
and it feels like in that specific example to the relationship, I'd probably try my best not to tell.
Though to be fair, she didn't tell, and for my understanding of Marissa, I really don't think she would tell. Like she might have all these other problems and she's self-destructive, but I feel like she is trustworthy and she does have a good heart. Like she never means badly.
Last time Ryan told Marissa a secret about the relationship between Caleb and Juju, she got on a microphone and shouted to everyone. I'm guessing now Ryan's probably thinking that's going to happen.
That was kind of her secret, I guess, too, though.
Well, and I guess that
he didn't say he wouldn't tell anyone that one either.
Specifically, it's not. I wouldn't not tell her because I didn't want her to tell anyone else. I would not tell her because I would think Luke would specifically not want her to know. That would.
I think Luke. Luke would want her to know, though.
I would thought, Luke would have eventually told her, I think.
Yeah, I would be
would say it's not my secret to tell, it's Luke's, and if he wants you to know, he'll talk to you about it.
Ooh, yeah.
Something like that.
Good.
I mean, that's kind of like outing somebody. Even though he didn't out to the public, he didn't out Luke's dad to the public like one of the Noopsies did. He outed at least the guy to one person, which is still not his job to fucking do.
Yeah, I would have told Seth before I would have told Marissa, but maybe that says more about me than
Seth
it does about
is a child,
Ryan.
and you saw how much glee he got from it, and like joking about. So it means all the time Luke called me this or that. I felt like he came around by the end, but I think when he learned it first, he wanted to make a lot of jokes and say shit.
He certainly did.
Any cross burning, any goose stepping. I thought that was funny.
Cyborgs, supremacists, vegans.
Yeah, it was just Seth asking for clarification. Just any insight, like we were talking about, like, oh, tell us more about Luke's family. Like we want to know. He wants to know too.
Yeah.
He couldn't have said he's got 2 younger brothers. He's got a mom.
Yeah, you could come up with lots of bullshit stuff to just
versus just quiet.
Yeah, Ryan was kind of immediately supposed to be. I mean, he could have shrugged out of that situation with Marissa, by the way, just because she kind of got a little bit upset. Doesn't he? Could have made up anything that they talked about her if he wanted to. Just give her some. She wants to hear that they're talking about it. It's all she wants. She doesn't care about anything else other than knowing that she was involved in this thing she was not involved in.
But yep, Ryan is all bummed that apparently Luke and Ryan are friends now.
So we already like Luke. Most people kind of hate Luke's guts up until around this point.
Really?
Does that make sense to you guys? Well, barring just because he's a bully and he throws homosexual slurs. But like, does Luke just having a gay dad make him more likable in some way? Because I kind of think it does for some reason.
100%.
Because it's not like a disability or it's not like poor guy, but just it gives him a little bit of humanistic. And I think we see that at the end of the episode as well.
Mm-hmm. It puts him in conflict with the rest of the community, which makes him an outsider. Yeah. So that's why we're able to get inside him.
Yeah, because so far he's been so on the inside. He's been so just everything that Seth does not like about the OC. This thing that pushes him away from the norm gives him, for us viewers that are also outside, gives him something more to connect with. He's not just like an automaton.
Yeah, when you think about what Sandy, what Ryan, what Seth look at as them versus the OC versus the Noopsies, Luke is like the king of that he's like the head of the other.
The captain.
Yes. It's them against the water polo.
Luke should have been cast as Captain America, I think, instead of...
I would have been in that.
Let's move to Yogalates again.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let's back up real quick. Before we get to Yogalates, we get to see...
Back that ass.
They go to school. And so we get to see Luke is now very much not nice in public to
Super
Ryan.
Duke.
And
we get the...
Slams against the locker.
We say, what are you looking at, queer? That's on the
He's
bottom
doubling
steps.
down on the homophobia.
Definitely. So we...
And Ryan's like, the fucking project. Okay, I'll do it all myself.
I liked Ryan's reaction when he's like, all right, whatever, and just keeps walking. It's not like an aggressive thing. He's just like...
Should have said thanks and then slapped his ass as he kept walking. Just like...
Whatever, gay dad. And then we get to see Anna in her delightful pink fuzzy golf cap.
They don't have a dress code where you can't wear hats in school? Doesn't every school not allow you to wear hats? Why is she allowed to wear a hat?
Fancy schools.
Haven't you ever seen Clueless?
Right?
They get away a lot more out in the West Coast.
It was cool, though, that both her and Summer started dressing similar. I don't know if they bought those outfits the day before when they went shopping or not.
Did they actually go shopping to a library?
Yes.
Okay.
Because, I mean, the third outfits they wear are almost exactly similar. But this one is just sort of similar colors.
Remember, kittens prefer cream over food, generally speaking?
Anna could have probably slowed down her reading of that line. I didn't understand the fucking thing she was saying when she said that first one.
No, blah, 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 generally speaking.
I think my copy that I torrented and I stole was missing scenes or something, because I feel like this felt real short as an episode.
So your theory is...
I don't remember any of this right here.
Your theory is someone got this episode, took out scenes... and then put it back up.
Well, no, it was having weird play. I didn't give you the whole story.
Oh.
It was having weird issues where it would like get staticky sometimes and it would come back and it would look kind of weird. And then it didn't seem like it was skipping a scene because it didn't just go like. But I guess in the time that it messed up a little bit, I wouldn't notice that it changed.
Oh, gotcha.
You missed a really cool thing because when Summer sits down with Anna, the conversation they have is, I believe, line for line, the one Anna had with Seth earlier of like, is this seat taken? Yeah, by you. Yeah, it is now.
Yeah,
that stuff. That seemed very similar to how she reacted. To
Why didn't it end with them dating? That would have been so good.
Yeah.
I'm shipping them now. I'm Anna Summer. And
Sumna?
Let it go. Let it go. Isn't Anna and
Anna?
Elsa, not Summer. I don't know.
Close enough, right?
Anna and Winter.
So anyway, those are the basic scenes. Blah, 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 blah. And then we get over to Yogalates.
Yeah, Yogalates. Kirsten, they're talking. The Noopsies are the Noopsies are gossiping about Luke's big gay dad, and Julie. In my opinion, Julie is actually kind of nice or like holding off on doing this shit, and you'd expect her to kind of join in to be a part of the kind of vindictive, gossipy Noopsies at this point, right?
Well, she just saw herself almost on the same receiving end, but was spared by Corson. So the fact that she now sees someone else finding themselves in that position, it's not as fun.
And I also think in between the last time we saw her, she's now been dumped by Caleb.
Ooh, yes.
Because I think that's what we learned through that scene is that in between the last time she brought it up to him and then, they broke up.
And Julie, of course, also is expecting Kirsten to be mean to her and vindictive to her about it because, Julie spread around the rumor that, not the rumor, just she told everyone that Kirsten was fall down drunk and all that kind of shit. And I thought it was a little bit phoned in, right? Like I thought it was a bit stilted dialogue. They were like trying too hard to show how nice and altruistic Kirsten is. Like she was just like, go ahead, do your worst. Why don't you just tell him? I know you want to.
Yeah.
Like, no, I should never do that because I would not want it done to me. Like I thought they were going a bit overboard.
Both people just stating like what the writer was trying to convey rather than like.
I thought that was a little strange.
No, I got that. Particularly with Julie's stuff.
Julie just said straight out like it felt like a
Disney
Channel show or something.
Don't you remember the last scene we shared together?
Yeah.
That was weird. But so
Julie has now learned the error of her ways and will not join in on the gossiping. She will, and Kirsten has helped their friendship out. She's shown that she will not bite back.
Then we go back to Jimmy and Sandy being boring together, but God damn it, man.
Sandy's disappointed face at Jimmy.
Yep.
Nice little push in with the camera.
Yeah, who was like holds on his face for a really long time.
This is after Jimmy tells Sandy that he has kissed Kirsten a few episodes ago.
And so many opportunities to be like, you've only heard it from her perspective, so I'm glad you know. What are you talking about? For him to just be like, never mind.
Dude, you move on and you call Kirsten later.
Yep.
And you say, hey, I almost let something slide. You haven't told him yet. I'm not telling you that. I'm not trying to tell you how to have your relationship because God knows I'm not the expert. But I feel like maybe there's some tension here you should talk about because it almost got bad.
Yep. That feels like that's melodrama 101 of backpedaling when you've said too much, of just being like, she didn't tell you that I didn't take off my shoes at Thanksgiving and I got mud on the rug, right? Yeah. Anyway, how about that golf?
Yeah, but the main thing I took away from that was one, BS Kirsten move to still not fucking talk to Sandy about it. He's around them all the time. He's working with Sandy. I'm not saying like, a woman's chastity and honor and she must account to her man. I'm not saying any of that kind of shit. I'm just saying in their relationship of equals and with Jimmy being around, like it's something you should maybe talk about and play it down and say it was just, he was emotionally unstable and we both know it was a mistake and it didn't go past the, it's a ridiculous
and with her being
move.
Super worried about the same exact thing.
Yeah, right.
Sandy brings it up later. It's hypocritical. Yeah. Just like, oh, I know you're kissing. I know you're flirting with Rachel at work and no, this actually happened to you. But it's why she's thinking about it so much, right? She wouldn't be so worried about it except that it happened to her. I just want to reiterate Sandy's disappointed face it's sexy as fuck, but it's also like just intimidatingly intense as he's just like staring Jimmy down after the admission. I thought that was just an intense face that he pulled off.
It felt like it was going to snap and he was going to lunge at him, take a golf club to him or something.
He thought Sandy was about to punch. My question here is, how mad would you be in this situation? Put yourself in this headspace, maybe even advance your relationship a few years, bring matrimony into the equation. One, there's a situation as we know it to be. How mad would you be about that? And part two, with Jimmy's admission here, with the amount of information he gives him, which I feel like he could have set the scene a little bit better about like why he did it and why it meant nothing. How mad would you be at Jimmy in this situation?
Yeah, man. I feel like
not punch territory, probably.
I don't know, man.
It's less being mad at Jimmy though, because I mean, so what
so
if
you
other
punch
people?
Your wife, okay?
That's the Luke's dad thing to do. So if so what if other people are attracted to my wife and try and do things? That's fine and cool. It's up to my wife to treat our relationship with respect.
I'm on board that too, and the honesty between you to after it happens, laugh it off. I feel like you can laugh that. Like Jimmy's so fucking pathetic, and he tried, and I had to push him off. I mean, he's really a mess. Maybe not laugh off, but somewhere in that territory. But if you make it into a thing,
like, hey, I'm not going to be hanging out with Jimmy one-on-one so much anymore because he tried this thing. I just want to let you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, there's some sort of primitive reaction, I guess, to like, just men touch my wife. I mean, I think that's in everyone a little bit.
Especially
I guess I've never had that reaction before, but I imagine people have it.
They have a previous relationship from when they were kids, so it's
I'm sure Sandy's a little bit self-conscious about that.
Yeah, I think he's doing a lot to go out of his way to sort of tolerate him and be like, no, I'm going to help this dude out, even though he kind of bums me out, even though I know he's into my wife, even though I know my wife had this really strong relationship with him.
You're Jimmy in this situation. Is that something
you
just... You're Jamie. Is that just something you assume the guy's been told at that point? I feel like if you've kind of done that, you just don't. You need to know for a fact he knows before you fucking start talking about it. In my opinion,
I don't know if Jimmy's ever made a smart decision at the time of the show, so it sort of fits.
Well, I was trying to go back in my head because I know when right after it happened, he showed up and he had a weird scene with Kirsten when she opens the door, trying to be like, "Should I? Can I come in? Is this going to be weird?" But it feels like maybe there was a mixed signal understanding between him and Sandy. Yeah, like I would be 100% sure that he was aware before I ever brought it up.
It's good that his perception of Sandy, though, is that Sandy already knows and is just still cool or whatever. It doesn't even ever bring it up. Nope. Even though, like, when in the gambling episode, the casino, when he finds out about the check in a very similar situation, you know, like he instantly confronts her, and then a big thing happens.
Jimmy gets punched in that face.
Yeah, Sandy's all about like if there's something, let's attack it head on and deal with it right now, which I do like. Though I feel like he came to talk to Kirsten about it a little bit sideways when he first talked. He got to it pretty fast, but I mean, he kind of came out a little sideways. You want to go back to school? Yeah. Luke's dad's rumor is the hottest thing on campus. It's spreading like wildfire all across campus. Everyone's talking about it, and it has my two favorite lines in the episode.
The Dawson's Crack in Everwoody.
I heard his favorite show was Dawson's Crack. I heard it's Everwoody. Who the fuck wrote that?
There's got to be better show names.
Are they making fun of shows similar to the OC or something?
So I guess, was Everwood a show?
Everwood was, and so was Dawson's Creek.
I don't know what Everwood was about. Is that like Torchwood?
I think Everwood's kind of like a Dawson's Creek, like a
thing. That doesn't help.
Like a One Tree Hill.
Still doesn't help.
Anything that has like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, Everwood, I feel like there's...
So they could have said 9021 buttholes.
Quit coming up with podcast names.
9021 buttholes.
I guess also then Boner the Vampire Slayer.
Okay, let's come up with some other ones. Family doesn't matter.
No, because I'm fucking my business partner.
Because I'm fucking guys.
Al fucking guys.
I would watch that. We can't use any of this. Friday night
tights.
Damn it.
So Ryan thinks Marissa told.
Oh yeah, so yeah, the Luke's dad's gay rumor is running rampant about the school. Everyone's giving shit to. Now we can back up to where we can actually use stuff. Giving shit to Luke about it, and Luke's just taking it. Ryan thinks Marissa done goofed.
Did you have a point about? I think you maybe mentioned earlier on in the episode about this specific part of the show about the argument there, or no?
Oh, basically just weigh in on who's right here. Is Marissa, we already talked about this a little bit, is Marissa right to be pissed off that he would not just trust her implicitly, or is Ryan right to just, probably assume if she's the only person that knows as far as he knows, that logically she must be the one to have said it.
I could see me feeling the same way that he did. If that was all that I knew, is I had told one person and I was really nervous about her telling someone else. And then all of a sudden everybody knew, I feel like I'd probably jump to that conclusion. Even erroneously,
but
okay. Let's say you were Marissa in this situation. Would you understand his point of view better, or would you be like, "What does it say about you that you can't trust me?" And all that kind of. Is that where you go with that, or you'd be like, logically, it makes sense that you'd think that, but I'm telling you, trust me, I said nothing. And once you say it once, maybe you should expect that someone that loves you would believe what you said.
Oh, L word. They love each other now.
Yeah. Did they?
I know they used a boyfriend-girlfriend word.
No, they haven't dropped that L bomb.
Lesbians?
Yes. Yeah. No, that's next episode.
That's season 2, actually.
The Secret Part 2.
Is that Luke's mom?
Gotta get to the crab shack.
But no, I get definitely in relationships, if someone calls into question whether or not I'm telling the truth and I say one way and then they're like, oh, I think you're lying.
It makes me real pissed off.
Yeah, I get super. So I would, if I
I
were.
lie all the time. I really don't want to be called out on it when I'm not actually doing it.
Yep.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
I am not a crook. I have a crooked penis.
Spot on, Rickson is how I combine.
Looks like Harry Potter's scar.
So yeah, I get both sides of that. I thought that actually felt like kind of an accurate argument rather than something that was just created to make them mad at each other.
Agreed.
I get both sides of that.
Definitely.
If I would have reacted similarly if I were in both of their shoes.
And we get to see another argument pretty soon after that.
Between Kiki and
which
Sansan?
ends in a nice way, but I like Sandy coming into it saying, I don't want it. I'm going to try my best not to sound too high school about this.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Which is the high school part being, did you kiss Jimmy? You know?
Yeah, I heard a rumor that you kissed someone else.
But Sandy handles it well, right? He doesn't seem to raise his voice or get angry.
He's disappointed.
But,
Yeah, pulls the.
Disappointed Sandy is the worst.
Because he had a free pass to make out with Rachel now.
Mm-hmm. That's what
knows
he's
it.
the maddest about.
And then we use that argument that I believe, not we, they use the argument, I think Kirsten uses it, that Jamie brought up earlier as a great line of argument, which is, I didn't tell you because I knew it would upset you this week if you told you. We get that again here.
Which is, that was a Caleb defense, so that's weird that she was kind of quoting her dad in it, or paraphrasing him at
Kirsten's
least.
using the same defense as Caleb.
Yeah.
It's learned.
She's her father's daughter.
And this is this is where we're seeing that Seth is happy that Luke is, his dad is gay, because that means good things for Seth, I guess. Why is Seth happy about this?
Well,
Just the irony, it's delicious to him.
someone's kind of taken down a peg who's been sort of not very nice to him.
So you're going on the record saying if you have gay parents, you should be taken down a peg, is what you're saying?
100%. I would say arguably kicked out of school, maybe thrown in jail.
Okay, I'm with you.
I mean, I don't want to take too controversial of a stance, but having gay parents is wrong.
Yeah, let's just take that out
Disown
of
'em.
context.
Yes. I feel like the OC does this when, like, 2/3 of the way through the episode where all these different arguments are happening, there will be a bunch of people mad at each other and one person who doesn't get that, like, why. And Seth is very much playing that role of, like, Ryan, Stewie, Kirsten, and Sandy are mad at each other, and Seth is just like, I'm having a blast.
It's the dinner scene where everyone's always upset and no one's having any fun enjoying that dinner. But one person's like, yeah, I got questions to ask. How was your day? How's things going?
And everyone's just, "Meh."
Let's go to the Noopsies. They're making Luke's dad's secret all about them. They're still at the
it's
lockers.
juicy.
They're doing their Yogalates again, and they want to say like, "Oh, I saw him cry at a movie. He never hit on me. That makes me feel better." They're trying to make it all about them. They're gossiping. They're using stereotypes. They're just really being just awful people.
So Kirsten and Julie decide to cut out and go get some fried food and beer.
Probably best for Kirsten to do is just go out and drink in the middle instead of...
Yeah, exactly. Some of that day drinking.
This is tiring to me.
At least it's less alcohol content than like wine or liquor, probably. What's the significance of them saying, "I want to get wine and beer"? Why, or I want to get beer and fried food? What is why make the specifically that? Why choose the?
They're being healthy by doing Yogalates, so that if they go and eat something bad for them, it's negating the effects. It's them saying, "We're fucking done with these noobs."
Yeah, okay, so they're separating themselves from like the culture of the Noopsies, this hyper aware of like OC style, like nice food and health consciousness. They're like, fuck it, we're separating from the Noopsies. We're not one of them, type of thing.
All they needed was like cigars and I don't know, to kick someone.
To kick some.
I'm trying to think of something the Noopsies wouldn't do.
I think that's
they would kick them.
definitely it.
They have to be down first.
Oh yes,
I think that, the Yogalates
Yogalates.
is them trying to participate in the Noopsies culture. This is them
Yogalates.
saying we're cutting out of there.
Well, why is Kirsten? She seems like she doesn't like. Why is she even bother being in that group of people? She did it because she wanted to save face. She didn't want to get drunk and pass out and then not show up and act like they got to her. I get that, but
Marissa doesn't really want to be on the committee that creates the events, but she somehow gets conned into it. It's sort of, I guess, just being in that position of the OC queen. She has to continue to do it. Like, who else is she going to hang out with? Who's going to be her friends? She's just going to hang out with Sandy and Seth? They just make fun of her all the time.
that's true.
And I guess that's kind of the pull for a lot of these characters, of the pull for who they have to be in society and who they want to actually be. And that's kind of her role. That's the crew she's got to rub elbows with.
Let's move on. Summer and Anna are getting along pretty well.
Yeah. Oh, so that's where we see them getting along. And then, first we see Luke didn't show up to school. He's missing. But then Seth comes in and does his straightforward apology. Which
we already discussed a little bit. It does seem sincere, and
it
does seem like it worked a little bit too well, though.
No, I thought so. It was basically like, I'm really sorry, but could you blame me for wanting to hang out with both of you?
Which the logic is there a little bit, I guess. Like, hey, I'm a guy that didn't get any pussy my whole life, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, two ladies both want to give me that snatch a muffin. And what do you expect me and all my experience as a 16-year-old nerd that's never had a lady like me just to be like, no, madam, I turn it down. I get that.
Yes, I expect you to say no. This other girl is here.
I don't think I would do it even now, but I definitely would have done it when I was 16.
You don't think you would have made out with them, or you don't think you would have turned them away?
I don't know if I could have, especially 16-year-old, never had a girlfriend. Women seem to have never been to me, just to have the confidence in that situation to know just how to deal. I feel bad for him. I feel like it's worse for him. He is the victim. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, he was assaulted.
No, he's not an assaulted, not a victim. I mean, sure, he should mature and be able to deal with it. But yeah, I mean, I buy the basically what I'm saying is I buy that apology. Like, that sounds like the actual reason.
Yeah,
he's not making it up. So
no, I thought it was sincere. I was surprised with which they kind of turned around so quickly and started warming up. I mean, they by his second line, they were both smiling again. And then, as I said before, I was just really bummed out that the end result of that was them deciding they should not be spending any time together.
That was a bummer. They're like, oh, we were just using each other for this man, and now that he's made any small act of contrition,
right,
we must immediately split up and not be friends.
They did a lot to liberate themselves over the episode, and then kind of tossed it out the window the second the man.
It's a long time ago. They
used to be friends.
It's kind of problematic that all their motivations and everything they do and everything's just focused on the male character. That's kind of shit we're trying to get away from in modern writing. I guess 2003, not quite there yet. How about the next scene? We got Julie and Kirsten bonding over the annoying things that Kirsten's dad does, which is just weird and creepy scene in my opinion. Like, they're just like laughing and joking and go, my dad does do that. He does it when he's fucking you. He does that when he's parenting me. It's fucking weird. That's a weird conversation. I didn't like it, but we did get juju out of that.
Yeah. Also, having the same sort of nickname style, that's weird. And they were wearing the same eye makeup color. Like, it's weird how similar the two of them are. And one of them is his daughter, and one of them is his fuck friend.
By the way, I was super attracted to Kirsten this episode. She had like
the bangs.
It's the bangs, the fringe. It was the the hair. She looked like a like an '80s music video lady, like dancing on a car or something. I was into like Tawny Katane or
sweet cherry pie.
I don't know. I was into. I'm always into Kirsten, but I was super into Kirsten.
But no, that was definitely weird. The daughter talking to the girlfriend and bonding over the similar things that they get out of their relationship with them. Fucking weird.
So we transition to
Summer asking out Seth.
Summer hits on Seth. She's some strong 30 moves, and they have a date for Friday.
No longer upset about
Saturday.
the idea of being into Seth. No longer
yeah,
viewed by it.
Kind of just like embracing it now. And
yeah, she really does not. She's not embarrassed.
Yeah, but okay, so she's not embarrassed about, and then Anna isn't frustrated by him dating Summer. Like
they're just showing you they like the honesty now, right? Mm-hmm. It's out in the open. It's a competition for Summer, and it's honesty for Anna, which she appreciates.
But it's like that honesty went so far as to help them overcome their own inhibitions about why they wanted to get with him. So that was.
I think they liked the Cohen they had seen so far, but now they saw this honest, earnest side of him they haven't seen. So it's like they liked him already, but we can see him be sincere and honest. Mm-hmm. So I think that pushed him over the edge. I think a big part of it is how dumb we are as young men. Summer had said she'd never been apologized before as a guy ever.
Yeah.
And just seeing that articulate and then like sweet thing that he said as an apology, I think that was just new to her. So that just made her more wet for Cohen. # wet for Cohen. And so is that a thing that just boys don't? I feel like I spent half my relationships I've ever had just apologizing all the fucking time. Did guys usually just not apologize?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm not. Either of you fuckers.
I don't know. I feel like I would, it's easy to. I don't feel like saying I'm sorry is never. I've never seen that as a thing guys don't do.
Yeah, it might be a thing. I always thought that just.
Well, we've seen
Luke apologized in a scene earlier when they were moving stuff in for the casino night, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry about that."
Everybody was apologizing to everybody in that episode.
I guess what we've seen that Summer is attracted to mainly, she's not attracted to weakness, which is someone who maybe be apologizing more, and she's very attracted to hyper confident, hyper powerful, like people who would just.
But Cohen's apology here worked really well.
Absolutely.
But Caleb has never apologized.
Yeah,
I couldn't see him apologizing.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if he knows he's wrong, he's still just going to push through.
So Luke's back to being cool.
Yeah. Okay. Luke's back to being cool. We got Saturday night dates for Summer and Seth, and we have also got Anna moves in real quickly for the Friday smart move. She's going to get the Friday night date before Summer can get a piece of that Cohen. I mean, that's a strong move. You give him try to show that you're the better lady before the other one gets a chance. Smart move.
She should have chosen Sunday though instead of Friday, because Friday they're going to be at school all day, and then so they're not going to have as much time to hang out.
But she would miss the opportunity because someone would get in there on Saturday.
First, though.
First,
so is there
if it's first, why not tonight?
Question here is a shitty move by Anna to sneak in before the date. Should she have been like, no, if you're dating Summer, I'm done? Or is a shitty move by Seth just being honest about it and getting 2 dates with 2 ladies at the same time? Is there any shitty moves here? Or is everything on the up and up now?
I don't think he planned to do that. I don't think he realized that was an option. I think he saw the opportunity to be honest and took it, and then
worked out well for him again.
Yep. I mean, I think the honesty was the way to do it, to explain to Anna that's been going on. So Ryan goes to Luke's house. That's where I was saying Luke goes back to being cool. Basically, where we resolve all of the drama between Luke and Ryan and Marissa in basically one line of Luke being like, yep, by the way, everything is cool. I found out, well, not everything's cool, but I found out where the gossip got spread, and it was no one's fault.
Did Marissa explain that to him?
Yeah,
was she already there when Ryan?
She was there, up? And Ryan's really cool. Like he opens the door. Marissa opens the door at Luke's house, and he goes, "Why are you here?" It's just the same reason you are, just like comforting Luke. I guess that seemed like a thing. I was like, we're already fighting. This feels like.
It seems strange that she wouldn't tell Ryan on the phone, like, hey, I'm going over to Luke's to console him. You want to come too?
Yep.
It felt like weird that she just went there and he opened the door. It felt like a writer move, like, is there going to be tension here? Is there going to be some problem? And then immediately lay out the tension. No, I'm just consoling him. I thought it was a strange move. She wouldn't tell. He's been hanging out with Luke. He was there when the secret got loosed. She could have called him and be like, hey, Luke knows, by the way, it's not your fault anymore. Isn't that great? It felt like weird that they weren't communicating on this.
Mm-hmm. She was probably worried that Ryan would blab it out to everyone.
Yeah. We've also seen that Ryan does not have a cell phone.
Oh, yes.
He had to borrow Sandy's that one time.
So how could you tell him?
And where was Ryan in the meantime instead of there? Why did Marissa get off school and go to Luke's without Ryan? Was there... I mean, I'm not saying they have to do everything together because they're dating, but it seems like if they got out of school, they just got them both gone there.
Right.
I'm going to say she dropped him off because she drives him around at his house, and then she immediately drove to Luke's without telling him, and then Ryan was like, I should go see Luke and help him out, and then found the way there.
In my head, that's what happened because she drives him around.
She said, find your own way home when they were fighting. So it probably took him that time to get home and then finally get over there.
He's only going to Luke's because it's closer than his house.
He's just been walking. Yeah.
And I've been wanting to talk about this a little bit. I realize you don't have to just give your kid a car because they're your kid. But if you're this richest family in the OC, maybe, can't they just have a car for the guys to share? I mean, rather than having to have them get Marissa to drive them around or having to drive them places, wouldn't it just be nicer for them as a family, since they can afford it with no problem, get them a Toyota Camry, whatever. Just get them something. Like, why? Mm-hmm. I don't know. At what point, what point are they proving by not having Seth and Ryan have a car? Are they just too young?
They let him drive a car.
Does Seth drive? Does he have a license?
Because they went to the party that one time.
Right. Yeah, I know he can borrow because it got all fucked up. Maybe that's why.
It just seems strange.
But wait,
at this point.
have we
You're
seen
that rich?
Have we seen Seth drive?
Seth
he was driving with
to
Mexico.
Chihuahua.
That's right.
It's not like they're trying to make Seth learn the value of $1 or earn his own money or anything. I don't understand how that's more convenient for them than just having them have a car.
Mm-hmm.
It seems, if I was a parent and I had money, I wouldn't want to drive them all the fucking.
They want to avoid those taxes.
That's true.
So when we see Luke seems to be doing well, and then we get Luke's dad making the appearance, and when Luke runs away crying, that was the second note of him being adorable again. Something about him like in a hoodie.
Mother's leaving, right? Or is the dad leaving or the mother leaving?
That's a good question.
Usually the guy leaves in these
I would get, because the kids all live there and stuff.
Did you notice the difference in the younger brothers?
Yeah.
No longer wild. They're all
sitting on a
subdued.
beanbag.
Yeah.
Baseball beanbags.
Baseball beanbags.
Sitting on Gus's beanbags.
And so how do we get... I guess he runs away, and then that's when
Is
they get
Luke
to...
running away angry that his dad broke up the family? Is he running away because he can't deal with his dad being gay? A little bit of column A, a little column D's nuts.
B.
That are
I like to
belonging
think he's
Gus.
upset about how mean he's been to gay people when he's been
I'd like to
living
think that
and
as
loving
well.
a gay person this entire time, and now he realizes like, oh shit, I've been
I think-
fucking up.
I think he'll get there. I don't know if I think right now it's just lots of emotions you don't know how to deal with, mixed with betrayal and family going away type stuff. I had to guess. Mm-hmm. I feel like he'd get there though. Like I've been this way, and obviously, my all-American dad, whom I love, is this thing that I've been using as a weapon against people verbally.
I feel like he cites it a lot of that he's mad that his dad lied. That
Yeah.
seems to be the big
That's
thing.
true. I
Of
think
just
it's good they made the point to point that out. I think.
And I guess then that next scene where we've got Marissa and Ryan, and they're sitting drinking beer at the baseball.
Yep.
That's Luke and Ryan, not Marissa and Ryan.
Marissa's there too, right? It's Marissa, Ryan, and Luke, and then Marissa goes to get
all
a
three are
coat.
there, and then she's like,
I guess that's one of those scenes that cut off a bit of it.
Because they do this scene where basically Luke is like, my dad was always late to all of my baseball games, and he missed some because he was away. And then Marissa goes, well, everything I've been through with my dad turned it through.
It's a competition, and then Ryan's like, at least your dad showed up to some of your games.
Exactly. And so
they're all commiserating over problematic dads, which they all have.
bad
Yes.
dads.
And so then, but we get, Luke really seems to be what's really bummed about is that he's been lying all these years of knowing his dad was working late or going on trips, that he was probably lying.
So it's
about
not that he couldn't get out. He doesn't care about the gay dad. He cares about, you said you couldn't come to my ball game because of work. It's so important. But no, it wasn't important. You were choosing to be with someone else with your time, which is hard to, and you learn the reason, and you're living your life as a lie. It's hard to, get super mad at them, I guess. If you're a son, yeah, but you're also like, you're not living the life you're supposed to be because societal pressures. I could see, you have to do this for your sanity. It's complicated, but if you're the son, obviously all you know is you lied to me. You weren't there when I needed you. You're hurting the family. I get it.
But so Marissa goes to get her coat, was leaving just Ryan and Luke, at which point they get some visitors.
Yeah, let's get to that. That's the best part of this first season, really. Yeah.
Isn't this romantic? A couple of harbor butt pirates.
That's what Jamie has to say about them, right?
Yes.
No, you're saying the character.
It took me a second to realize that guy didn't go to their school. I thought it was just like someone who went to school with him and already knew him, but no.
It's from an opposing team. He comes up, throws some homosexual slurs.
Do we know what school it is?
Whatever the rivals are, because we kick your butt every year is what they said.
We're going to have to wait for the episode, The Rivals.
Yes.
What is the rival of a pirate?
A
Scurvy?
A mermaid?
a sailor?
Mermaids, yeah,
The Muse?
Zick,
Mimus? I don't know. I always think
Probably
they're
ninjas.
saying
showers.
I always think they're saying Harvard and not Harbor, and they were somehow like calling them intellectuals as they're a bunch of Harvard butt pirates coming in here telling us how to.
So now,
How laws work. And
Yeah.
So now instead of Luke throwing homosexual slurs, he's fighting somebody for throwing them. Granted, they're throwing it at him, but so is he fighting because like, hey, don't fucking use that word, my dad's gay, or is it more like I just want to hit something?
Yeah,
Or a little bit of,
I think that's a lot of that one. It's just like, here's an opportunity to fight where no one can be mad at me for it.
Yeah. I do so Ryan's up there and they're trying to talk them down and just be like, yeah, get out of here. But then the second the guy says something like, why don't you go tell your dad? That's when they share the look and they're like, oh, we bring up the dad. I guess that's
the last straw.
Giving us the thumbs up to kick ass.
They give I don't know. It's a good just filmmaking move. Have them share the look, then start fighting. Then the rest of the team shows up, and I would have liked to have seen that fight a little bit. But it's a good storytelling move.
I'd like to know how Luke is the only one who ends up bloody and Ryan's just got 0 scratches on
Luke's
him.
drunker, right?
That's true. And
Can't
I guess
fight well.
And his dad's gay.
so we cut back and we just see that Julie made up to Caleb using all of Kiki's advice about
And Julie being a sociopath, part 3.
That wasn't her intention, though. She just, having that knowledge, used it to her advantage. Like, she wasn't pressing Corson for, the information in order
I didn't get it felt legit, it's sincere. I don't know. What are your thoughts? You think it was sincere?
I might have missed that scene too. This fucking. I gotta make sure the next torrent.
This episode is probably my favorite episode yet.
I love this
probably
episode.
The best episode of the show. So it's a bummer that you missed parts.
I know. So yes, basically Julie shows up with a flower, giving it to Kirsten, saying Caleb is buying the house, and that ends with maybe someday your neighbor will be your dad.
Oh, that's right.
If they end up getting married.
And Sandy's not thrilled by this news.
No. I love Sandy's just watching some cartoons.
Was Sandy or Seth watching Bugs Bunny?
It was Sandy. Seth was at the dinner table, and that big red monster is named Gossamer.
There we go.
I was really hoping.
Gossamer guys?
Yes. So, yep, there's no meaning to Gossamer and Bugs Bunny or anything like that. It's just that's the thing that Sandy's watching, getting a kick out of it. But we get to see him doing that old talking to his wife through his son.
We've got the perfect Coen relationship. They make up their problems. They work it out together. They're a perfect couple, one could say, fixing the problem that came about because of The Secret. Kirsten continues looking hot AF this episode.
I like when Luke and Ryan show up and Luke's all beat up and Ryan goes, "It's okay, I didn't do it this time."
Yeah.
So it is very similar to Sandy's showing up and wearing a jacket and stuff. They have a very similar sense of humor.
Yeah.
I don't know who's becoming more like the other, but they are becoming very similar to each other, or they're showing it.
Okay, so Luke's all beat up. They say, "Yeah, you can stay here. Put him in the guest room." Why isn't Ryan staying in the guest room?
Privacy for the pool room, I guess.
But I'm like, you have a 16-year-old kid. That feels like he doesn't need to have his own house. That feels like he needs.
It feels like something maybe the writer or the show creator always wanted growing up. Like, oh man, I heard about this friend of a friend who got to live in the, when he turned 15, his parents let him live in the guest room by himself, or in the pool house by himself, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sweet deal.
A 6 feet under, right? There's the carriage house that Claire always wanted from her brother who had it, Dexter.
I guess when you've got like a troubled teen.
They all wanted that room.
Yeah, you don't want to give a troubled teen their own place where they're allowed to make out with girls whenever they want.
If Ryan lived in the guest room, I've only the first season. If Ryan lived in the guest room though, where would guests stay?
The pool house.
But that's not made up for guests.
Yeah, that's true.
Hopefully we get an episode called The Guest Room.
He's not a guest, so he can't stay in the guest room.
Yeah, no. Only Summer can.
Yeah. I know Everything OC, the website that started that we've been talking back and forth, they just did an article about why the Coen's house seems so small that they only have like 2 bedrooms in a giant house. And so I haven't read any of their stuff because I don't want spoilers, but I'm intrigued to. Apparently other people are also curious about.
I find I'm in that frustrating place too where it's like, oh, I'm interested now, I want to look up stuff, but then it's also like,
check Twitter, by the way. Today's the anniversary of Marissa doing a thing that was a huge spoiler. So searching hashtag the OC was bad news for Harry doing a thing at the end of the season. Well, the end of one season.
Wow.
Wouldn't be this one.
Searching for pictures in order to make dumb Star Wars OC photoshops. You see pictures that you probably it doesn't. I don't know when things are gonna happen, but then you see a picture and it's just like, fuck, I didn't want to see that.
Yep, it sucks.
Well, I really want to know what these things are, but if you guys haven't seen the one we're talking about,
Russell, close your eyes.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
Okay, do you want to close your eyes?
All right, yeah, go ahead. I can hear you moving. Oh no! Don't whisper.
You didn't take that seriously at all.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, I didn't even have that bounce on your computer.
He's bleeding now. We got to take a break in order to patch his eye up.
We're dead.
Get one of Gus's.
I threw a pin while he wasn't looking.
We're good.
Mouthing nonsense.
We're good.
I don't know if we ever touched on this, but the fact is, when Carson realized that Luke saw him, he immediately went home and talked to his wife, and that's how the news got out. And I feel like that is definitely the correct way for him to go. It sucks and it's fucked up that he's been doing this whole time. Mm-hmm. But as soon as someone knew, he didn't try and hide it. He didn't try and cover it up. He just went home and let the secret out and talk. He was like, the secret's out. I got to start talking about this. I thought that was.
I think they did their best they could do with making a person likable that has cheated on their wife and family.
Right.
Obviously, the homosexual part doesn't make him unlikable. It's the cheating and the messing with the family. But like I said, I have a little bit of sympathy for someone that is trying so hard to fit in this place place that wouldn't accept him, and that it's hard probably not to maybe have an affair in that situation because he's not getting fulfilled like he needs to. He's not living the life he should. So I think they did the best job they could do to make him still be a kind of an awesome guy, but he's living a lie and he couldn't help himself from this affair. I like the ending a lot. It's one of my favorite ending shots on this episode, where we've got the Breakfast Club moment where they're all explaining in a row why they're outsiders outside the school. We got Luke, Ryan, Marissa, and Seth, right? Yeah. Some are not part of that group.
I liked how they were kind of posed. It was almost like a Western, like Magnificent, of like the four cowboys who are like walking down, like lining up to
I think it's supposed
approach.
to be that way, right? Like them versus the school. And now Luke is being included as an outsider. They go through. Seth's just Seth, which is the punchline, so I shouldn't say it first. But Marissa tried to kill herself. Ryan steals cars.
The kid from Chino that burned down a house.
And Luke is gay daddy.
Yep.
Gay daddy.
And I'm still Seth Cohen. This is going to suck. Yeah, well, welcome to my world. So ends
perfect opportunity for them to redo the "Welcome to the OC, bitch"
That's
line.
true.
I thought that was going to happen.
Oh, that would have been if Seth had turned and said that to him. God damn, that would have been great.
The OC, bitch.
And he just punches him like the Hulk at the end of Avengers.
Yes. That was awesome. So no, I really liked this episode. I thought it was Go ahead.
It was the best writers, Heinberg and Josh Schwartz. Barring the one episode Jane Espenson did where she made everything work, like they are the top writers so far.
Definitely. I feel like when I see their names, I'm like, all right, this is going to be good, and it's going to progress the story and get us where we need to be. So yep, I think it'll be fun to go back to planning for a party for an episode, but I really liked that it was a step away. I thought none of the drama felt forced. Everything, we got some good actual human conversations and people talking the way normal people do. And yeah, it was awesome.
Okay, so we're going to do my questions, fellas. What are the secrets of this episode?
The gay affair, the secret that they have to keep in a relationship.
We've got the Kirsten kissing Jimmy. That seems to be the B secret, I guess.
The secret Ryan has about Luke's dad being gay as well.
Juju's secret.
Juju's secret. Juju's secret.
That she doesn't want the Noops to know that she's Oopsie Daisy.
She's Oopsie Daisy. So we got
not a sentence.
We got a bunch of them. And so I feel like they were using secrets here to speak about different aspects, like to talk about how secrets work, how with sexuality, with couples, within a town, gossip. I feel like they wanted to try to orient everything around just like what a secret does to gossiping community, what a secret does to a relationship, what it does to all these different friends. Did it seem like Ryan and Marissa and Seth and Summer were? I guess Ryan and Marissa had that secret that he thought she betrayed, but Seth and Summer and Seth and Anna seemed to. There's no secrets there. Were there?
His honesty is a secret, and also the secret from the episode before. Okay. So once he came clean about why he chose the actions that he chose, that seemed to clear everything up.
How about this? Luke watch.
Oh, man.
Was he lukewarm or Luke cold?
Warm. Lukewarm. Lukewarm's a good one.
Is he anything but a 10? He's got to be a 10, right?
Yeah.
10 Luke. He fights with alongside Ryan, sympathetic. He's got a gay dad. You learn a little bit about his home life.
He earned his opening credits credit.
Yeah. He's I guess a bit of a jerk in the middle, but that was just felt unnatural. It was all good. By the end, this was the best showing for Luke so
good
far.
Look, Luke. And how about this? Team Anna or Team Son? So we've got the showdown. We got the date with Summer on Saturday, date with Anna on Friday. Who's going to have a better date? Who should have a better date? Who did best when they were hitting up Cohen for the date?
Anna.
Yeah, she had a really what do you call it? Like a flirtatious face she was doing. So like get up in his face, all confident and stuff.
Yeah, there's something that's very kind of sweet and innocent about the way Summer did it, and we know that she's usually very abrasive, and to see her kind of be a little human, it was like very charming. But Anna did a lot to win me back. I think I was swinging away from Team Anna based on whatever the one that ended on the boat.
Well, she's being a bit of an asshole,
perfect
people and stuff.
Yeah, I was kind of like, man, fuck that.
But to be fair, Seth was judging them with her. So
oh yeah, and Seth is always a creep, but Yeah, I would say I'm a little torn at this point.
If we're done with this episode, I'd like to bring up a thing where I already know what the title of the next episode is. It's the Christmas Kwanzaa thing.
Christmas.
And I feel like once we started watching that is a word that I heard, like, and so I'm very curious to see what the big deal is, what this is about. I'm curious to see if I'm into it, see how I feel about it, see if I use the traditions from it in my own life.
I feel like I've heard a number of people when you talk about the OC being like, it's all about the Christmas episodes. That, like, I think you've mentioned it as well, that they're always like fun and
I always roll my eyes a little bit at any holiday episodes, like the ending, like family gathered around lights thing. It's not that bad. I feel like that always happens in these things. What are we thankful for? They actually ask that around the table, or, I always roll my eye a little bit, but it's still cool.
They should have done that in the homecoming. Everyone said at some point what they're thankful for.
Right.
Like towards the end, once everything.
Have you guys ever actually done that at a Thanksgiving? Like actually had the family say what they're really?
Yeah.
Maybe my family just has we raised Southern Baptists. I guess it's maybe other Southern Baptists do this, but we just really did not hold any type of tradition for anything that wasn't religious.
No, like we would all hold hands, the prayer before the dinner, before we lined up at the buffet thing to do it, and then you would be forced to say what you were thankful for, and I fucking hate it because like what the fuck am I gonna say?
There's a pressure, right? Like I can't make it too sincere, or it seems like I'm not cool, but I can't make it too shallow. They're like, oh, you're not taking this seriously. It's all.
Well, and I've.
Thankful
you never want to go later because then everyone said all of the things, like someone's already said family and but I've also made the mistake of going first and being like,
set the tone.
I'm just thankful to be here tonight. Do a quick one, like, right? And then the next person does the 10-minute thing where they like look into their wife's eyes and just talks about,
I've never seen that at all. I've actually been at a Thanksgiving party in Savannah where they started doing that shit. I was like, I'm not going to do it.
I'm thankful for getting to talk about the OC with you two.
I'm thankful for this pillow I'm sitting on because right now I sat weird and my tailbone is real fucked up. So like, if I didn't have this pillow, I'd probably be like falling out of this chair. I don't know why I sat on it. It's super weird. I don't know what I did.
Your ass is destroyed right now.
My coccyx has been destroyed. That's what it's called. That's the vestigial tailbone.
I know what that's called. I just also knew where you are.
You should. And I'm throwing up. Let's finish this shit up so I can smoke.
You can follow me on Twitter at WrestleMania, where I will tweet about all how Jamie didn't say what he was thankful for, and also watch some Pasta Robot sketches.
You can follow me on @Jamie Clark. Yeah.
And I'm on Twitter at @DJohnTimmons, no H. And you can check out my Edge of an Endless Earth story on Inkshares pretty soon. Chapter 1 and 2 will be dropping pretty soon. You can check out the idea now and look at the inspirations on Inkshares under John Timmons, JONTIMMONS, DJohnTimmons.
Docs. We will. See you later.